Yo, what's good, guys? It's your boy AP. I'm back with another video. Today, I'm doing my top 5 MVPs midway through the season, who I potentially think is going to make it out to the end of the season and either reclaim another MVP or maybe we got first time guys in the mix, all right? So today, I'm just going to go over my top 5, okay? And then everyone's top 5, I guess. Kind of talk about them a little bit, and then I'll go into like I think I have 4 dark horses that could potentially get into the top 5 due to injury to other guys not being able to make it. Da 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 da. So, without further ado, pretty obvious who the first one was. I don't think he's ever going to be out of the MVP talk until he is old and can't do anything anymore and not getting in minutes, or he will probably also decide to stop playing basketball before he even gets to that point. So until then, every time he's in the league, he's going to be in the race. Okay. So I didn't do all the statistics because I every too many things can happen. All right. But I basically said I kind of did the math in my head and kind of said if I think they're going to make it, because you have to play 65 games minimum, right, to be able to be eligible for these awards. I have Jokic at is at risk to be eligible. I think don't quote me on these. I'm not gonna have this for everybody, but I think he's played 32 games so far this season, and I think they have 30 something, maybe a little bit more than maybe closer to 40 games left. So it's still possible, very possible. And now this is my opinion. If he does get it, those stats and I get there's voters fatigue, but you gave it to Shea last year. There's no more fatigue. Give it back to him because these stats just don't make any sense, bro. He's averaging 30, 12, and 11. What are we talking about? On 60% from the field and 43% from three. These numbers speak for themselves, right? You can't. What are you even talking about? You know what I'm saying? Now, yes, the guys that else I'm going to show also are having great seasons, but it's just like if this guy's healthy and he can make it, I don't see why he wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to spend too much time on Jokic because you all know about him. Now, we have the potential of a back-to-back in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Once again, having a great year. 32 points on 4 rebounds and 6 assists, 55% for the field and 39% from 3, and 89% from the free throw line. Great. And obviously, with the way the Thunder has been playing, he's also up there too. My thing, people like to complain and say that they want the best player on the best team. Don't think that's necessarily true. Um, that is the case for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but I think he also has a case for being MVP because he is one of the best players in the NBA. He's not just the best player on the best team in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Because for how much team ball they play and like how well they play as a team and win the games that they do and have guys go off every other night, this dude's consistently 35-5 or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to, what should I say? It's hard to go against that, I guess. If the Thunder keep playing this way, I think he may go back to back just because they're gonna have a historic season. They started off the season very hot. They're probably gonna win less. They're probably gonna lose less than 15 games, so that's a really good season. So it's hard to go against that guy since he is the best team. Because it's hard. It's a hard. What should I say? It's a hard. Uh, like decision for voters to go against the guy who is the best team on the who is the best player on the best team when he has stats like this. It's not like he's like the best player on the best team and only averaging 25, 3 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Like that's still a nice stat line, but like, and he's the best player on the best team. It's harder to vote for that guy. He has the stats to back it up for that reasoning. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why he might win it this year. I'm kind of gonna give my case as to why I think Everett will win it, basically, for the top fives. And then for the guys I think that can sneak in there, it'll be due to injury, but they also could just keep playing at a crazy level. But anyways, so Shea, back-to-back MVPs, possibility, 100%. I'll give Jokic, if he's healthy, 10 out of 10 to win MVP, in my opinion. Um, Shea, if he's healthy, he's not really at risk. He doesn't miss that many games. And I'll give him an 9.2 to win MVP. I know I can't give everyone nines and tens, but I don't know how the voter's gonna go. Next guy, young guy, obviously Victor Wembanyama. Now he's a little different because he's still very good on offense, right? 24, almost 20, 24 and a half points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 50% from the field, 38% from the three, and 84% from the free throw line. And now this man, he is also averaging 2.5 blocks this year, which is the least in his career, which is kind of crazy to think about. But he also has only played 30 games so far. He's also at risk of not being eligible for this award or DPOY, which, and that goes into the case of why I think he may not win it, because he'll be more in the DPOY. Not saying you can't win both, but I feel like he's going to get mushed into the DPOY conversation more so than this one. But things could change because his minutes have been restricted lately. So, and if those pick up and he stays healthy, anything can happen because this dude is a freak. And if he's averaging, if he bumps that 24 to 26, 27 by the end of the year and maybe average one more assist, and he's averaging 3 blocks, it's hard to go against that too. And the Spurs are playing very well too. It's not like they're at the bottom of the standings anymore. So has a very compelling case, but I think he'll be fit more into that DPOY conversation for right now. I mean, he's still in MVP conversation. I don't mean that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think he'll actually get over the hump of beating guys like Jokic and Shea and the other guys I'm about to say, until like he's really like flawless on offense, right? Like he's got the points, he rebounds well, but his playmaking's not really there. And his defense just so outstanding. So like people are gonna be like, oh, DPOY, no shit, no. But I'll give him like he's probably lower on the list. I'll give him like a 6 out of 10. Next guy, which I hope he wins this, Luka Doncic. The efficiency not really there with him this year, but I mean, 33 points, the most out of this list, I believe. 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 46% from the field, 33% from the field, which is from 3. I can't speak, which isn't great, but obviously not bad. Yeah, and the Lakers are like a top 5 seed this year too. And without like, I think Luka was. I don't know how to explain it, but the stats are there. So I don't like, and I get he's going up against guys like Jokic and Shea, who Shea had a great year last year, and his team won the championship and all that. Like da 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 da, and guys like now who are coming up like Victor. I don't know if Luka will ever win. I think he deserves at least one in his life. I don't know if that one is this year. Um, the like I have him as he should be good too because he's played 34 games this year. Once again, I didn't go through every team to see how many games they had left, but they should have about because I know he didn't play all the games. They should have about a little less than 40 left. I'd assume. So he's right there, right? He should be able to 100%. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Because rest and guys aren't really paying attention to that. Like, yes, I'm sure he would love to win MVP, and if he knew he had to play 2 more games to win MVP rather than um rest or something for the playoffs, maybe he'd do it. I don't really know. I don't really like the rule, but I'm not the commissioner. I can't make that rule. I can't reverse it. But yeah. So I got him sitting at a. See, I think he's right where Wemby is. So I'll go 6.8 out of 10 that he'll win MVP. Okay, and then rounding out the top 5, as you guys just saw up there, the Greek Freak. The only downfall with him, the stats are there, of course. MVP, and he also, I didn't even know this, 28 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, very well rounded, 64% from the field, and 39% from 3, which I did not know. His attempts probably are not that much. Let's see real quick. He's averaging 1.3 attempts. Okay, I'm not really counting that at all. Yeah, I can't count that at all actually. But yeah. Still looks nice, I guess, on the stat sheet, but only shoot 1.3 a game. 39% is really nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not even shooting two a game, so I don't really pay attention. 64% from the field is nice though. The only downfall with him is I don't think, like I said, I don't think it should be just best player, best team, but I also think your team has to be playing well, and the Bucks are not playing that well. Uh, and I don't think they're going to turn it around. Um, so I'm kind of nervous for him. They are currently sitting at the number 11 seed at 18-25. So not really looking good. It's really hard for a guy to win MVP that's a double-digit seed. I'm sure it's happened. Not really gonna look it up or think about it right now. I'm sure it's happened, maybe, but it's very hard, right? When you also are going against guys like this that I just showed you. So I think he actually, like, stat-wise, he's there, but that really does deteriorate him. Or deter him, I guess. I don't know the word for that, which one is right for that situation, but I'm gonna give him a 4.3. Like, he might even have, now that I'm thinking about it, he might even have less of a chance than these guys I'm about to say that might swoop in towards the end of the year if they have a good second half of the year. So I'll give him a 4.5 out of 10 to win. I don't even know that scale, but I'm using it. The fact that they have him listed as everything is kind of crazy. I can see this. There's no center. Point guard, sure, maybe. Shooting guard, I don't think he's ever. He might have played shooting guard once his rookie year. Anyway, sorry. All right, now I guess you can call it the bottom four. These are just my thoughts on players that can sneak into the top five. And if things go their way, where they play enough games and these guys don't, could find themselves top two, top three, or win the MVP this year, because anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? So with the first guy that on the list for me is Jaylen Brown, who I gave a lot of shit to this guy. I knew he was good, but he also doesn't have a left hand, and I get that's the ongoing joke. But my man is averaging 36 and 5 on 48% from the field and 36% from the three, and I'm sure those attempts are up there. 6 attempt, 6 attempts, 6 3-pointers attempted a game. Shooting 36% is nice. And then 16 2-pointers at 53. So his efficiency is there. Oh, the efficiency, right here, 53%. 79% from the free throw line, I think, was the worst besides Giannis, but I'm not. You're still knocking down a high percentage of them. And the Celtics are very nice this year. The Celtics are the 2 seed right now at 27-16. And he's also a great, like, story. I don't want to say story, like, he hasn't, like, people, he's been good before, you know what I'm saying? So and he won finals MVP when they won the chip. So, like, I don't want to make it seem like he's coming out of nowhere, but, like, people didn't think he could do without Tatum, right? And he's proving that he can be the number one guy on a championship level team. People did not think they were going to be this good. Yes, I think their system is very well. He has a lot of a really good supporting cast around him, but he is the guy on that team, you know what I'm saying? And he's proven it very much so, obviously, with these stats. And I think right now he's not getting recognition for MVP because of the names of Jokic, Shea, Luka, Giannis, and Wemby. But a lot of those guys I wrote a list down. And I kind of tried to do math of, like, oh, I didn't do, like, game for game, like how many games these teams had left, but I had Jokic as at a risk to not be eligible, Wemby's at a risk to not be eligible, Giannis is at a risk to not be eligible also, and his team's not good. And Luka and Shea are the only ones that are on track to play more than 65 games. But like I said, anything can happen, you know what I'm saying? But I also can see guys like, say, Jokic, Shea, and Luka are out of here, like, for injury reasons, and they're not gonna be eligible. I could see Jaylen Brown, like, having a compelling argument to win an MVP over Wemby and Giannis. So he's probably my top guy out of the top five, if that makes sense, to sneak in and win MVP. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, I'm not a Tatum hater, but I don't think he's as good as everyone made him seem, or makes him seem, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater, as you can tell. But if he wins MVP without Tatum, that's crazy. Trade Tatum. Get him out of here. Trade Tatum and get this guy more help, because that's your answer for chips. I don't know. But so this is my first guy off the list. Second guy off the list, younger guy too, my boy Cade Cunningham. Um, the efficiency is not there. 45% from the field, 32% from three. I'm not a super big efficiency guy, but I also don't. Those numbers aren't the best. But he's averaging 25, 6, and 10. The playmaking stats is there. And the Pistons are also blowing people out of the water this year at 32 and 10 at the number one seed. Um, they they're playing well above what people thought they were going to play, and obviously the biggest reason for that is Cade Cunningham. So he also makes an argument to make the top five. I don't think he's a guy that squeezes in and wins it. Everything would have to go his way. Like everyone I named before him has to be ineligible for the award for him to get it, basically, which kind of sounds like lame, I guess, but the stats that other people are putting up, it's just everything has to align for him to make it, and it's kind of for the other two guys I'm going to say too. Everything would have to align. Jaylen Brown is the only one out of the four that I'm about to name. Well, the two more after him, but Jaylen Brown is probably the only one I can see legitimately make a case for top five, top three, even with those guys healthy, right? With the stats and the because he's got the efficiency, because he's got the defense too. Cade Cunningham has played defense too, pretty decently this year, but the efficiency does matter when it comes to those things. But he also has an argument because he's number one. He's the second team in the league, right? You got but a lot can happen after the All-Star break too. I keep forgetting to mention that. Like guys like Jokic and Luka and Shea aren't going to drop their averages from 32 points to 22 points. Like it's not going to happen. But a lot can happen after the All-Star break. Your team could start playing worse. Your team could start playing better. Like Giannis, his team could end up being a 4 or 5 seed this year, and then we're talking about him being the MVP this year. So a lot can happen. A lot of trades can happen. Not saying any of the guys are going to get traded. If anybody out of these guys is going to get traded, it's probably going to be Giannis. But Giannis can get more help, and this team wins more. He plays better. Same thing with Cade. They can make trades, make his team better, be the number one team in the league instead of number two. And there's a lot of arguments to make these guys jump in the top five, which I get. Guys aren't playing to be top five MVP, and I get they're mostly playing to win, but it would be kind of dope to see him get in that top five but he's also very young too. He's only 24, so he's got a lot of time to win MVPs, and he's also young enough where like he can win some in 7-ish years without Jokic and Giannis and stuff being in the league trying to taking that spot. Okay, my guy now might be a little biased, but just hear me out. Okay, we are sitting at because we're not a great team right now. We're 25 and 20 at the 5 seed. I believe after the All-Star break we will turn things around. But he's very eligible. He's played almost every game for us. He's averaging 28 points, 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. 48% from the field and 38% from three, on I believe a decent amount of attempts. Yeah, 9.9, 10 threes a game. He's shooting 38% from the field. He's almost shooting more threes than layups. Okay, and he's hitting them at a high rate. His efficiency is there. His free throw making is there. And I also believe that we are going to turn our team around. I won't get too much into that because this isn't the Cavs video, but I do believe that the Cavs will turn it around and make a push for a like top 2, top 3 seed after the All-Star break, and he will be the reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, health on our team does matter. Like, there's Garland helping him out, Max Strus coming back and helping him out, Evan Mobley stepping up, Jared Allen stepping up, all them. Yes, but he will be the focal point, and I think he has the stats to back it up to be the stereotypical best player, best team. Even though we won't be the best team in the league, I think it's statistically almost impossible for us to catch up and be the 1 seed in the East. I don't want to say statistically impossible, but we're 8.5 games back, and with the way the Pistons are playing right now, I don't see us catching up to them and getting the 1 seed. If we did, that would be a story in itself, and he would be a top 3 MVP candidate, I think. But with the team, kind of with Jaylen Brown, like Jaylen Brown has a very good supporting cast, and he's the guy, right? And he's leading them, right? We have a very good supporting cast, and Donovan Mitchell is leading us. So that's my reasoning for him. I won't talk too much about it because I want to be biased. And then last one, Jalen Brunson, kind of the same thing. With I don't want to spend too much time on him because it's kind of the same thing of they're the 3 seed, uh 26 and 16, 18, I believe. And he's got the similar stats to Donovan Mitchell, and kind of the same thing. Like they can make a push for the 1 seed. He would be the reason. He would be the number one guy behind that, shooting very well from the 3 and decent from the 2. Um, I don't want to spend too much time on him because he's kind of like the same thing as Donovan in the situation, where like if they keep playing well or play better, he will be the reason, right? And then he might be able to squeeze into the top 5, especially with the eligibility things. He seems to be good for eligibility. Donovan, Jalen, all that Cade too. So that's my reasoning for those 4 possibly getting in there. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you think they are going to, well, I want to know who you guys think is going to win MVP. If you agree with my top 5 list, and then maybe my like dark horses to win MVP with the 4. But make sure you leave a comment down below, leave a like, and sub if you haven't. Appreciate y'all. Road to 1K. It's your boy AP. I'm out. Deuces.